How you doing, Fan Bam? This is Chris Mizo here with another video about PS5 and if it's able to have a keyboard and mouse, and that's a test that I will be performing for you guys right here, right now. If you find this content very useful, make sure you don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also if you're into tech content, make sure you go down and hit that subscribe button for more to join the big wonderful Fan Bam. But let's get straight to it because I know you want to see it in action if PlayStation 5 can actually be controlled by a keyboard and mouse. Now, some of you out there may be wondering exactly why would you want to do that? Why you already have a controller and having a keyboard and mouse is no fun. But some people out there who are PlayStation 5 owners, who own PCs already, know that keyboard and mouse is a very good controller, and they want to know if it has those kind of capabilities. More than likely, Microsoft Xbox Series X does have that capability where you can control it with a keyboard and mouse. PlayStation 5 did say something in the nature that it does work with most USB keyboards and USB mouses. Of course, the settings, I'm not sure if you're able to change it on PlayStation 5 itself, or if you have to change it onto the game titles. If you're interested in any of the products that I am using in this very content, make sure you go down in the description box down below because I have it right there for you. But without further ado, let's get straight into it because I know you guys just want to see. So Fan Bam, we got the PS5 right here in action, ready to go. I have the keyboard USB ports right here. One's just for USB pass-through, the other one is for USB just for keyboard usage, and of course I also got the mouse USB, which is a single USB port. Some of you might want to know if PS5 will be compatible with the external USB port in the back of this K100 Corsair keyboard. I'm not sure if it'll respond as a USB hub or not, or if it'll even detect it, but we'll give this PS5 a test run. Forgive me guys, because this is the very first time I'm going to hook up PS5 with a keyboard and mouse to see if it actually works. On top of it, I got the DualSense controller here, just in case if we need to turn it on manually. Of course, you could turn it on manually by the console as well. But without further ado, let's get started. I'll put this right in. Alright guys, so I plugged in the two USBs for the keyboard to the back of this PS5. Only two ports are available in the back, which look like USB 3.0 or 3.1. It could be 3.22, but 3.22. But I do have the spare mouse connection here, and I will test it out by plugging it directly to the keyboard to see if PS5 will respond to it. So let's give that a test and see if it will work in that way. Of course, I'm unsure if it will or not, but let's give it a test run and see if it does. So, see if it responds to the keyboard. If I try to power it up, it doesn't. As you can see, my PS5 is sleeping, so let's try to manually start it up. Let me try not using the DualSense controller. I'm gonna just power up the PS5 manually. If you're not familiar, the top is the eject button for PS5, and the bottom is actually the power button for PS5. I gotta set this to HDMI. So far, no response at all, so let's see if it even detects it. So I had to turn on my controller, of course, right now, and let's see if it will work. So let's go here. Let's go to accessories. Okay, so it does work. USB pass-through does work. It looks like it does detect the mouse, and it also detects the keyboard as well. So USB pass-through does work on PS5, which is pretty cool. I wasn't expecting it, so even though if you're not planning exactly to hook it up in this way, you know that you can use a memory card or you can use a USB thumb drive to put into your keyboard, or you can even put a solid state drive or a hard drive to save all your game files and all of your footage if you so choose to. So the very interesting thing though is you're unable to control anything with the keyboard just yet. It does detect it, but as you can see, I can't do anything. So let's see if we can fix that, and we'll try that by going to the menu. So what I'm going to do first is go into the settings, because more than likely you have to go under there to be able to control things such as a keyboard and a mouse. So we have to go under, it would be accessories, and we're gonna, it looks like as Bluetooth accessories, of course you got the controller connected, we got the keyboard, we got everything normal, mouse, right-handed normal. Okay, so it does detect it. You could even change up the settings here, it looks like. So you can set up the, you could actually set up the mouse as right-handed or left-handed, pointer speed, fast or slow. And the keyboard, you could actually set the kind of response you would like from your keyboard, if it's normal, or if you would like it a little bit short, or if you would like it long, depending on your preference on your keyboard. So let's get into the gameplay. I put Call of Duty is a good one because I figure that's going to have some sort of keyboard and mouse control. It would have to. So I'm going to go under here. I'm going to go into settings. And we're going to change this to keyboard and mouse. And bam, there it is. That's all it takes. It's under keyboard and mouse. Now we know. There it is. One little setting I'd like to personally change up. This is mostly the same. Of course, the only limited interaction you have with the mouse and keyboard, of course, you do not have CORSAIR software, or you don't have Logitech software to help set up your gameplay, but you can set it up here. So there's certain kind of keys you cannot use, like the G keys on this CORSAIR keyboard. If you're curious if you can use those, you can't. Same thing with the mouse. It's unable to detect the left and right scroll instead of up and down. So we cannot change those, but it can detect other keys, such as like mouse button 5, which is like these arrows right here. It can detect those, and the nice thing is that you can control the speed of the mouse too, even by default. I do gotta recommend, if you do plan on setting up a mouse, I can make another video on that. You could actually set it up onto the onboard memory of the mouse. I think you can do it with the CORSAIR keyboard as well. I will experiment with that, and if I can do that, I will share with you guys. You know what's crazy? A lot of this settings, it's already set up to how I have it on my PC, so it's already set exactly how I have it. So it looks good. So any of these settings I recommend ADS sensitivity, transition time and gradual, invert vertical look disabled. I don't know what's your personal preference. It tells you your monitor distance. It's going to be a lot more responsive compared to using a controller. So let's give it a shot. Let's go into multiplayer and see exactly how well it works. I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty stoked to try this out with you guys, but it definitely does work. Well, the very next one we're gonna try is something like Spiderman, and more than likely that may not work with keyboard and mouse. There's only probably gonna be certain games that do work with it. First-person shooters will definitely work with something like this, I believe, and I will let you know if it's very comfortable, if it's just like how I like to play it. Also, another thing is, if you're using USB, if your monitor does have USB ports on the back of it, then more than likely you probably can hook up the USB hub wiring to this monitor, and you can use those as USB ports as well. So that's something to think about if you like to use a lot of USB ports. If you have a USB mic, USB headset, you have all that kind of stuff, it would probably be a good idea to set that up. Okay, so the mouse definitely works good, but problem is I can't get the keyboard working just right. I kind of figured out what the issue is, and it's a bit interesting. So after experimenting with it a little bit, If you specifically have a Corsair device, you hold B and S. After you hold B and S, which takes Corsair's keyboard into BIOS mode. Looks like everything is blinking on the keyboard. And yeah, now it responds. There you go. So if you have a Corsair K100 keyboard, this is what you would have to do. So let's go into quick play. Now we can test it out. So if you have a Corsair K100 keyboard, a Corsair K95, any of those keyboards, you have to put your Corsair keyboard into BIOS mode. In order to do that, you have to hold B and S together while it's unplugged. You'll B and S together, and then you plug in the USB in the back of the PS5 USB ports, and therefore it will work. So let's give this a shot and see exactly how it does. Definitely feels a lot different playing on my PS5. I'm so used to playing on PC, I forget I have to hit E on this keyboard to work it, but that's my own fault there. Look at me chasing this guy down. Probably the worst match I've played. How'd you like that kill? Yeah, but you definitely can use keyboard and mouse on PS5 without issue if this is what you're into. Now, I know not everybody is, but give it a shot, see how you like it. Now you know keyboard and mouse works, but of course, if you're using Corsair's keyboard, you got to put it in BIOS mode in order for it to work, just in case if you guys want to know that. Now, the next game we're going to try out is Spider-Man. Hopefully that works out well. Alright, so games such as Spider-Man Miles Morales, you can't use keyboard and mouse for obvious reasons. It's just much more easier to use a DualSense controller to play games like this. It's no different from PC. Some games you're going to prefer to use a controller on. But first-person shooters, RPGs, maybe, and even strategy games, you might prefer using a keyboard and a mouse. I'm sure PS5 has certain games that allow you to be able to use keyboard and mouse, such as those very genres. For Spider-Man Morales, any action, adventure game, fighting game, more than likely it's way better to use a controller. As I like to personally use best of both worlds, depending on exactly what you're using it for. I hope you found this content very useful. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And also, if you want to join the big wonderful fan band, make sure you go down and hit the subscribe button for more. And also, make sure you don't forget to hit the notification bell. And also make sure you go down and follow my social media link right here. And that's across all platforms, even on TikTok. Thank you guys so much for watching. And also, FanBam, what do you guys think of having a keyboard and mouse on PS5? Would you ever use it for that very reason? I personally would love to know, because I want to know if you guys do prefer that, just as I do. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Chris Mizo signing out.